Hi, I'm Matt Lacey. I'm going to show you how to take this, which is the code as created by the Festive Editor extension. You can get it from GitHub just here, MLAC Festive Editor, and you'll see it produces this. Hide that way. So this is what we want to do, and we're just going to make some changes, make it a bit different, add some extra functionality. So the first thing I want to do is add an extra little image which will appear next to some different words. So let's say, I think we've got images for strings up to 7 characters in length, so we'll add another one for 8 characters. So I'm currently running that in debug. I'll just stop it there. Visual Viewer shuts down. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to add another image. I have an image to hand. I've got a reindeer image. We need to set the properties on this to match the other images. So we need this to be content, and we need to include it inside the VSIX or the V6. So we'll set that to true. And then there's a couple of places I need to change things. Solution Explorer. So we have our image tagger. This is going to currently identify things up to 8 characters in, between 3 and 7 characters in length. We want to change that to be 8. And over in the adornment tagger, this is where it chooses which image to create, I believe. No, not that one. In the actual adornment, we say if the length is, so if it's 7, it's going to be the Santa, as it was before, and now it's going to be 8, which is our new image, which I called reindeer. If everything's gone to plan, that should be all we need to do. I'll just run that in the debug again. Visual Studio slowly opens. This is my test app. Thought it was a simple project that would load quickly. It's getting there. So now we need a word that's 8 characters long. We'll just add an extra character here. Hooray! Concio! And we see our reindeer. What we can do is let me just let's not use magnifier, let's just zoom in here. Oh, far too big. That didn't work. Let's try it. It's gonna. We can see our reindeer. The holly and the mistletoe get in the way of everything, but we can see we've got our reindeer image just there, looking lovely. Well, that was nice and easy. That's for our reindeer. But this holly and things are getting in the way a bit. So let's get rid of them and replace them with something a bit more useful. We'll close that down. We'll save our changes just because. We don't need these things. So what I was going to do is get rid of all the holly and the mistletoe and replace it with something a bit more useful. The first idea of something more useful I had was just to have a little build radiator to indicate the status of our project on the server when changes get in. So if ever it breaks, we'll know about it. So we don't need all these adornments we have there. We can get rid of them. We'll add something new. We'll call it let's call it build indicator adornment, and we'll need to pass that the text view. Lovely. That doesn't exist. We will make it. And the easiest way to do it, if we put it in the bottom right hand corner, let's just copy our bottom right holly adornment. I called it build indicator adornment. And set the constructor. It's going to do something very similar to. I'll just keep it in that file for now. So the first thing we need to do is we need the source of the image, which is going to be our indicator. So this, in the real world it wouldn't be a constant, but for today it can be, and we'll just call it image source, and that is going to be this path, which just this URI, and that's just coming from AppVeyor. I've got AppVeyor pointed at the repository which is building it, and that spits out a little image like the one here. You see we've got this little build passing indicator, similar sort of image we're going to get back for that. It's a different size though. It is 18 pixels high and it is 100 pixels wide, so it's a bit smaller. What we need to do now is get rid of our holly image. Little indicators there are wrong, and this is the image source. Put it in the same layer, do everything as before, position it in the bottom right hand corner. But the other thing we want to do is we want to make sure this gets updated whenever every now and again, so we pick up the changes. If we just create a dispatcher timer, we'll call it our refresh timer, which is going to be new. So the namespace, and we'll have this on to only really run when the application's idle, so we don't want this timer, which is technically running on the UI thread, we don't want this to get in the way of using Visual Studio at all. So what we need to do now is we need to set an interval, so refresh timer, and this could be whatever you want, just for simplicity. Milliseconds aren't simple, minutes are simple. Let's just have this run every minute. You could have it run fast or slow, or make it configurable if you wanted. And then we need to do something every now and again. So this is our event handler. It's got an event and an args and a source, which we don't really care about. I can make them discards. And what this is going to do is reload the image. Now we want that image to reload from the web and not get hit by any caches, so I'm just going to cheat slightly so you don't have to see me type it all. Just quickly copy in the code for that. So what this is going to do is it's going to use appropriate caching to avoid, also use the appropriate caching settings to avoid having to avoid it using the local cached version. It's always going to go to the server to get the image. That may or may not be what you want. In this instance, if we didn't do this and the build failed while it was showing the everything is building and passing message, we would always see the image passing or the build passing image. So that's not what we'd want. And then now we've got that set up, we can just have it start. that, hopefully nice and simple, is going to give us, get rid of all the holly and the mistletoe. In the bottom right hand corner we should see our build status image. We'll open the test project again. Wait patiently while that loads. And here we see down in the bottom corner, I'll try zooming this in again, we see our build passing image, and then if we did something, or if another developer working on the project did something to make it stop, make the build stop passing, we would see our build failed, or we'd see our, actually while it's building, we'd see a building message as well if we happen to refresh it in that time. I'm not going to kill the build just so you can see that, take my word for it, or try it out yourself. Point it to, you know, either this project, any project, make Visual Studio good for whatever you need, make it work for you so you can be more productive and have the tools that you need. Okay, hopefully that was interesting. I'd love to see what you do with this. You know, if you make something interesting, comment below, send me an image on Twitter, or post something on the GitHub repository. That repository, once again, is just MR Lacey, which is me, Festive Editor, Matt Lacey, and hopefully you enjoy this and can do some interesting things with Visual Studio. Okay, bye-bye.